Okay, today's video is going to be a little different. So grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab your favorite beverage, and let's have a chat. You know what nobody told me, and that is once you hit the age 40, you'll have your whole life figured out. Spoiler alert, you don't. You don't suddenly have everything figured out just because you have now hit age 40. But here's the beautiful part. Once you hit level 4, and yes, I've called it level 4 because to me, it's not just about age, it's a level. You have reached a certain level in your life. So that's why I'm calling it level 4. And once you hit that level, once you hit that age, you have failed enough, lived enough, learned enough to know what actually matters in life. Unlike when you're in your 20s and your early 30s, you're still trying to figure things out. And honestly, that's when really life begins. I got to really understand what people meant when they said life begins at 40. It actually does begin at 40, to be honest. And I think it's a very interesting level to be on. So today I want to share with you some of the biggest lessons that I got to learn after age 40. And that is in life, faith, and business. And trust me, it's not what you think it is. So if we haven't met yet, hey friend, my name is Sandy Chinogray, and on this platform I talk about mindset, business, and faith. And if that is something of interest to you, hit the subscribe button and press the notification bell so you don't get to miss out on all the good stuff that will be coming out on this channel. Because the next time I'm going to be sharing the biggest money lessons that I wish someone had taught me in my 20s and in my 30s. And you don't want to miss that. Okay, cool. So let's dive in. Lesson number 1. The first thing that I got to learn when I hit my 40s was to stop caring what people think. Because when you're in your 20s, in your early 30s, you tend to find yourself caring a lot about what people think. What are people going to say? And as a result, you find that your life is molded around people's opinions. You find yourself walking around eggshells because you are trying to please people. You're not sure what to say. You're not sure how people will take what you're saying. And that is one of the things that in that stage of my life, I would find myself thinking about, like people's opinions. But once I hit 40, all those things went out through the window. I stopped caring what people think. Honestly, I did. I stopped caring. And one thing that I noticed that I used to do is I used to hold back a lot. I used to hold back on my opinions. I used to hold back even being on camera like this. I would hold back. There are certain things that I will not talk about. I will not share the things that I've overcome, the struggles, the challenges. I used to hold back on those kind of things because I would think, oh, what do people think? That kind of thing. And sometimes I would find myself, I record a video, I delete it, I record again. Because I'm thinking, is this even good enough? Does that sound familiar? If it does, please do let me know so that I know that I'm not alone in this. Here's another lesson that I've learned, and that is the people that you are looking to connect with. Like for me right now, if I make a video, I'm looking to connecting with a community that I want to build. I'm looking to connect with potential ideal clients. I'm looking to connect with people that I can potentially change their lives, even without meeting them. That is one of the things that have motivated me to come on camera. It is just making an impact in someone's life, even if you've never met them before. And that to me is more precious than trying to make myself look perfect in an imperfect world, if you get what I mean. Because at the end of the day, the people that I am truly trying to connect with are not looking for perfect. They are looking for authentic. They're looking for real, and because real connects with real, that means I have to show my real self. I have to show my authentic self. Even if it means that one day my nails are not done, or my hair is not looking to par, or I've made some errors here and there in my video, I'm still gonna show up and share whatever it is that I've put together. And one thing that I noticed was when I started showing up as my real self, like talking, laughing, because for those people who know me personally, they know that I love having a laugh. I love making jokes. If I'm amongst my family members, they know that I am just that person who just loves making jokes, that person who brings a lot of fun around people. That's the kind of person that I am. And I realized that I was not really bringing out that side of myself because obviously worrying what people will think and all that kind of, all kind of rubbish. You know what I mean? I was not bringing out the full me. And this is something that is still work in progress. Because seriously, I'm ideally, in the ideal world, I'm not a very serious faced person. I am someone who just jokes. I'm someone who loves to have a laugh. And that's one of the things that connected with me to my husband. When I met him in my younger years, he had a very good sense of humor. He made me laugh. And that's the one thing that connected me to him, and even up to now, because I love having a laugh. Life is so serious. There's so many serious things happening out there, and laughter to me is a medicine. So that's another side of myself that I'm really working on trying to bring out more of, even in my own videos. But I noticed when I started showing up a bit of myself, like my real self, I started connecting more with the people that I wanted to connect with. And the right people started finding me. The wrong ones, they are just scrolling away. And that is okay. And honestly, what a relief. What a relief to just know that the wrong people that you don't want to connect with are just swiping away. They're not even bothering watching my videos. And that is a relief to me, because I want to connect with people that would genuinely and truly want to connect with. So lesson number 2, and that is life is a race. I learned that life is a race, but only run in your lane. There was a time that I would find myself scrolling through social media and I'll be like, wow, she's way ahead of me. Whilst I'm here still trying to figure it out. This person is in their 20s and they have figured it out like this. In terms of their business, they are so ahead. They have managed to achieve all these things. But then with time you realize that people only post what they want you to see. They post the highlights that they want you to see. They don't share the stress. They don't share the nights that they are awake trying to build their business or trying to put things together in their lives. That part they live out. And as a result, you are trying to run in a race that you have no clue how that person got there, or the amount of nights that they had to be awake, or the amount of work that they had to put in to achieve what they had to achieve. And then here you are trying to run someone else's race, thinking you achieved the same results, but not fully aware of the work that they had to do behind the scenes. And even the Bible says in Hebrews 12 verse 1, run with endurance the race set before us. If you notice, it says race set before us. That means in the ideal world, we all have our own race. We all have our own lanes that we are supposed to be running in. And we have no business to be in anyone else's lane. You have no business of trying to build your own life or your own legacy or your own future in someone else's lane. When you try and run in someone else's lane, the next thing you're going to be doing, you're going to be tripping. You're going to be tripping all over the place because you're not meant to be in that lane. You're in the wrong lane. Completely wrong lane. Trying to achieve things you have no business of trying to achieve, or trying to achieve something that you have no clue how it's achieved. Trying to get to the finishing line in a lane that is not yours. When I finally stopped trying to run in other people's lanes and focused on my own mission, that's when things started to flow. A great example is me starting a YouTube channel. I started my YouTube channel about 3 months, I think coming to 4 now, I'm not really sure. And for over a year, I kept telling myself, I need to start a YouTube channel, I need to start a YouTube channel. But when I finally did, with a little nudge from, bless her, my amazing coach, Pam, it wasn't about just creating videos. Me sitting here doing this video is not just about me creating a video to put on YouTube. To me, it's about obedience. It's about a calling, a deeper calling, a calling that is bigger than myself. And that involves making an impact in other people's lives, not just my own life. It's not just about monetization, it's about making an impact. And I've told myself, my journey on YouTube, I've told myself this is not a race, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And I'm willing to be in here for the long haul, and I have to do what I have to do in order to make an impact. Lesson number 3, the third lesson that I've learned after 40, is that it's okay to pivot. It's okay to evolve. Because as human beings, we are not necessarily meant to be stuck in one position. We are meant to do what I call self-development, whereby your life is not stuck in one position, the same position after 20 years. Develop yourself, pursue other careers or other business ideas. I'm sure you've come across some people who believe that if you go to uni, you study a certain career or a certain degree, or if you start a certain business, just stick there, just stick in that field, that career for the rest of your life. But it's all nice and cute, until your passion actually runs out. Then you realize that, you know what, I'm not married to a career, I'm not married to a business. So it's okay to evolve, it's okay to want to transition and start something new. So for those who might not know me here on YouTube, or you might not know my background or my history, I used to create bridal wear. I used to be a bridal wear designer. I used to make wedding dresses, bridesmaids dressing, and evening dresses. I used to love that. I was just seeing the bride smiling, walking down the aisle. I absolutely loved it. And to me, I can equate it to a midwife when they bring in a baby into this world. That kind of joy that you cannot even describe, that feeling when you help a mother deliver a baby into this world. That's exactly how I felt when I was working with brides. But one day I realized that the passion was gone. The passion was gone. That spark wasn't there anymore. And that really scared me. That scared me because I had been in that space for a long time. Since 2012 in November, I was doing bridal wear. And then here I am waking up one day and that passion is gone. I just couldn't explain it. I couldn't understand it. I couldn't wrap my head around it. The reason why that actually scared me, that the passion had gone, was because to me at that time it felt like I had failed. At that time you feel like, am I failing? Have I failed? Am I walking away from this career because I have failed? It was only after some time that I realized that no, I've not failed. It's just part of a transitioning period. And I'm so grateful for the support that my husband has really given me, because I remember having to tell him the position that I was in and that I no longer enjoyed what I was doing. He was very supportive, and to me that is what I needed. I needed someone to hold my hand, someone to support me. I needed a support system as I transitioned and started something else. So he was there with me, and that actually helped the transitioning. And that helped me from having to feel or think that I failed. And I had to get to a point whereby I thought, you know what? Even if people think that I failed, I don't really care, because I know the truth. I know that the passion was no longer there. So I was not willing to keep forcing myself doing something that I no longer enjoyed as much as I did. So that's when I decided to take a sabbatical and pursue other things. But if you think about it, think of companies like Netflix. When they started, they were producing DVDs, and now they are streaming. You see, so it just shows you that transitioning or evolving is just part of the journey. It doesn't necessarily mean that I've given up on what I was doing, that is bridal. I've not completely given up or shut the door on that. I've just simply taken a short sabbatical. And that decision to take a sabbatical period helped me to discover some things that I really didn't know that I had within me. It's like I needed that push. I needed to reach that point in my life in order to tap in and to discover certain gifts that I had within me, which I didn't know that I had. And on discovering those things, I managed to tap into those gifts and work on those gifts that the Most High had given me, and I was not aware that I had. Because sometimes you can have a gift, but because you're not using it, and because it's dormant, you don't even realize that you have it. Sometimes you need a situation to push you to the edge in order to know that you carry something within you, in order to birth something within you that you didn't even know that you had. Sometimes it does take a situation to push you on the edge. And here was, I had been pushed on the edge. I had two choices: whether I continue with something that I was not enjoying as much anymore, or I start looking into other things. And I am so grateful that I decided to pursue other things and see what other potentials that I had within me. And by doing that, I uncovered some gifts that I didn't even know that I had. You know, it makes me realize that we're all created with layers of potential. We all have layers. It's not just one gift that you're birthed out with. You've got layers of dormant. Sometimes those gifts are dormant because you don't even know that you have them. You know, we've got so many layers to ourselves that if you start peeling them off, you start to discover that, wait a minute, I have got this gift and I didn't even know that I had it, you know. And one of the things I didn't even realize that I was able to do was to actually sit here, like what I'm doing right now, and create this video. I absolutely did not even know that I had it within me, you know. So sometimes you need a little push in life in order to tap into those gifts that you're not aware that you have. Lesson number 4 that I've had to learn was involve the Most High in everything that you do. I think at some point in my life I used to think I could do it all. I can balance the business, I can run the family, the marriage, the career, anything you can think of, ministry, anything. I thought I've got it all sorted out. But truth be told, I didn't. You'll burn out. If you try and do it all by yourself, the next thing you're going to be burning out. Trying to run your own business, trying to just do everything by yourself without involving the Most High, your creator, is like a car running on empty, a car driving on fumes. At some point, that car is going to stop. That car is going to run out of fumes and come to a halt. The thing is, you can move a bit, but at some point, you have to stop because you are burned out. We are not meant to carry everything on our shoulders by ourselves. We are not meant to carry all the burdens, to carry everything, motherhood, parenthood, whatever you can think of, all by yourself. You need to involve the Most High in everything that you do. So what I'm sharing right now applies to me. It applies to other people. It might not apply to you because maybe you are not a believer, or maybe that is not your cup of tea. But for me, I am sharing what I learned and what has worked and what is working for me. And hopefully someone else out there would be able to apply this. Or if you have also seen having to involve the Most High in everything that you do, if you have seen the difference that it has made in your own life, I would love to hear from you as well. Because I'm sure there are lots of testimonies and lots of people who've got things to share on this particular topic. And when I finally decided to, you know what, I can't do this all by myself. Let me involve the Most High in every little detail, every little thing that I do. Truth be told, everything shifted. Everything shifted because I stopped trying to figure out everything by myself. We're not meant to figure out everything by ourselves. You don't know everything. You don't know your tomorrow. You don't know what's going to happen next year. You don't even know what's going to happen next week, let alone what's going to happen in 2 days' time. So you are not meant to figure it out all by yourself. So that is one of the lessons that I personally learned. And I find that some people don't feel comfortable talking about their faith, talking about their beliefs on social media or in their business. But for me personally, that is one route that I'm going to be taking. I'm going to be talking about my faith. I'm going to be talking about what I believe in. Why? Because that is me. That is a part of me. I cannot separate something that is a part of me and still say that I'm being authentic. Because that is not authentic. If I am not going to be talking about that side of my life, that is not being authentic. I realize that some people are not turned off by your beliefs. I know that some people would choose not to talk about their beliefs, would choose not to talk about their faith because they don't want to turn off people. But some people, the people that are meant for you will not be turned off by that. They're actually drawn to your authenticity. They are drawn to your realness because in such a busy and crowded world that we're in, and with all that is happening on social media, people actually care to know what are your values. They want to know what your mission is and what is your why. And that is what connects people to you. It's knowing those 3 things: your beliefs, your values, and your why. So that's why it's important to share about your faith and not be ashamed of it or maybe worrying what people will think. Because for me, my faith system is my everything. That is my compass. That is my go-to. Like Proverbs 3 verse 6 says, "In all your ways acknowledge him and He will make your path straight. Lesson number 5. If no one else has told you this, I am telling you this. This is one of the lessons that I learned, that business is not for the faint-hearted. I'm going to say this again. Business is not for the faint-hearted. I remember when I started my business and I thought, wow, this is going to be exciting. All I just do is put a post, sip my cup of tea, and boom, clients are going to start coming in. Not quite. Why? Because business will test your faith. It will test your patience. It will even test your Wi-Fi connection. Anything that concerns you running a business will be tested. It will challenge you and force you to grow beyond your 9-to-5 mindset. That 9-to-5 mindset, that 9-to-5 cocoon that you've been in, it will force you to grow out of that. You need grit, you need courage, and the willingness to invest in yourself and in your business. If you're not willing to invest in yourself, if you're not willing to invest in your business, my friend, you are not ready for business. You're absolutely not ready. And here's a bridge to something that I shared last week in my Psychology of Sales, Part 3. And this is something that I wish someone had told me in my earlier years of starting business. And that is, people don't just buy your product. People buy your confidence. They buy the confidence, the way in which you speak about that product, the way you confidently talk about your offer. That is what people buy into. You might have an amazing product, all right, but if you are not confident enough to sell it to people, if you're not confident enough to talk about the benefits of that product, I'm sorry, no one is buying it. That confidence doesn't just come by reading some strategy post that someone has put on social media. That courage comes by doing the work, by having to fall, by failing and picking yourself up over and over again. And that, my friend, will help you become unstoppable. That will build your stamina. So these are some of the life lessons that I learned after 40. And if any of them spoke to you, drop a comment. I'd love to hear what exactly has resonated with you. If you have your own life lessons that you have learned, please do share them in the comments so that we can have a conversation, so that it's not just a one-way monologue. And remember, next week's video is going to be so good. I'm going to be talking about the biggest money lessons that I wish I had learned in my 20s and in my 30s. And if you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, turn on the notification bell so you do not miss out on what is coming up next, and share this with a friend who needs to hear this. So for now, I'm checking out, and thank you for hanging around with me. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for taking the time and watching this video right to the end. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.